Um, I am mortified to be recording this video right now because I am going to be recording another one tomorrow and then another one the next day. And for this calendar year, I think it's going to be 359 videos that I upload here on YouTube, and I feel guilty because I'm pretty sure storage is free on YouTube, and I just want to apologize to you, Google, for having to pay for server space related to these videos. And I feel guilty and just ashamed because other YouTubers make really cool videos, and I am sitting on a plastic chair, and it's kind of cold, and I'm wearing Birks, and so my feet are cold, and that's, it's just an unedited video. Maybe throughout the year we'll get a little better, but I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna compete with the best of the best YouTubers. And I am also mortified because I mainly want to talk about Jesus. I want to talk about God, what He's done in my life, who He is. I feel mortified about that because I perceive, generally speaking, an animosity towards Jesus, towards religion, towards church, and it's a cancelable offense, in the world of cancel culture. And so it doesn't feel very fun to talk about, because what I just internally feel is everyone's going to be mad and stuff. I don't care if anyone watches this. You don't have to like it. You don't have to subscribe. You don't have to comment below. And if you were going to comment something hateful and evil, please don't comment below. How about that? How about that for starters? But it feels important to me because I do follow Jesus. I am a Christian. I abide to, I guess you could say, the best of my ability to the commands taught in Scripture. And it's not just like an interesting thing about my life, it is my life. Like, my life apart from following God is not anything anyone would ever want to see. And you wouldn't see it because I probably wouldn't even be alive today. Like, I was not heading in a great direction mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, in life until I started following Jesus. And that was spring of sophomore year of high school. And the verse that kind of came into my head that helped me connect the dots of, man, I think I'm supposed to live for God. I was pretty depressed. I was I grew up with ambitions, desires for success and money and friends and good grades and athletic success, moderately speaking. And I wasn't satisfied by those things. Not that I was on the top of the mountain of any of those things, but I just started having a bitter taste in my mouth. Like, I don't actually want this stuff. This isn't great. I don't like it. I might even hate it, like just the things that the world has to offer. I was just done and uninterested to keep going. And I thought I was crazy. I thought I must, like, there must be something wrong with me. But then I found this verse. Check it out. The Bible. And in 1 John 2:15, it says, "Do not love the world or anything in the world. If anyone loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him." And it was like an aha moment of like, oh my gosh, I'm not supposed to be satisfied with just the things that I can see and feel and perceive in the world. Now, if you know John 3:16, like, oh, for God so loved the world that He sent His only Son. So there's like this love of compassion, of care for the world, and appreciation for what God's created. But in this verse, it's talking about, like, don't be satisfied in the world. Like, don't be content here. You should want more than what this life seemingly has to offer. And so I was like, great, I want more. I'm not satisfied by this life, so then what? And a couple verses later, in verse 17, it says, the world and its desires pass away, but the man who does the will of God lives forever. And so that's kind of the moment when I was like, great, I'm going to live to do the will of God. Not because I have this obsession with immortality, but because it seems to be the only other option. And maybe I should really prioritize him in my life and live for him. Give him control, give him the keys to the car, like just everything filtered under the will of God and not the will of Jeremy. Submitting my will to him and his will. And so that's cool, that's unique, maybe, but what I just literally, so I've read this verse at least 100 times in my life, and I just read it again this morning because I'm thinking about I'm gonna start making YouTube videos, and again, I'm horrified about this reality. And I, for the first time, noticed and processed this phrase, which is in verse 16. It says, for everything in the world, and then it has a hyphen, and it lists some things, and then the other side of the hyphen says, comes not from the Father, but from the world. I knew that, but one of the things that's mentioned in that hyphen is, it says, for everything in the world, the cravings of sinful man, the lust of his eyes, and the boasting of what he has and does, comes not from the Father, but from the world. And that just stood out to me because that's exactly what I don't want to do. If you know me, then you know there's this website called jeremybr.com. You know, there's businesses that I'm starting, there's some success stories in my life that I could talk about, and I'm writing these newsletters, and I feel pressure culturally to take God out of the stories of my life, and I feel this prideful desire personally to be the hero of my story and to in some way get credit for look how great I am or I am doing, or let me teach you how to be successful like me, you know, like and it could just be perceived as boasting in what I've done and boasting in what I have. And I could feel that temptation. That could be the reality of what I do, and I don't want to do that. So the best way that I feel from God is to post a video every day talking about God, who he is, what he's done, because the reality is I can do nothing without him. I have done nothing without him, and everything that could be construed as a Jeremy success story or a Jeremy nugget of wisdom is literally, like, when you get down into the weeds of my life, it's all just God, and there's really nothing left for me to take credit for. And so I'm here to humiliate myself if anyone feels that I'm supposed to be the hero, because by the end of this year, you'll probably not even make it to the end of this one video, and you probably maybe will never watch another video. But if you watch some more of these videos, I think you'll be encouraged. I think you'll hear some stories about God that are cool from the Bible and from my life. I think you'll probably learn some things, and I'll, you know, it's from my point of view, so you know, there might be some deep dive into entrepreneurship, into personal finance, investing, budgeting, church planning, Christian worldview, family, parenting, marriage, dating. Like, there will be some different themes where God has spoken, where I've seen him move. But the primary goal is not, let me teach you about all those things, or present myself in this super boastful way as it relates to any of those things. But let me present myself humbly. Let me just come out of the closet even though I've never really been in the closet, but culturally, I feel this pressure to make sure I never talk about Jesus. And I think I'm coming to a reckoning with that pressure where I just can't do that. I think if I'm a genuine follower of Jesus, I probably scripturally cannot do that. It's probably against the rules to just never talk about Jesus. But I think also just personally, I feel too much anxiety related to trying to package everything I think in a way that is digestible to someone that doesn't care about God or whatever. And so hopefully you can respect that I'm not trying to be super judgmental or hateful towards people of other religions, or I'm not trying to pick fights with anybody. Seriously, I'm just trying to put a big sticky note on my forehead that says I'm a Jesus freak and talk about that a lot so that it becomes very abundantly clear that that's the reality. That I'm not the hero of my story, and even if regardless of if my story is even hero worthy, regardless of if there's anything interesting or helpful that I have to in terms of my own perspectives, God himself is the hero and worth talking about, sharing about, processing about. So hopefully the quality of these videos improve a little bit throughout the year. If you actually think you might listen to one more of these 359 that are coming, I haven't done the math, but I think that should be the case because I'm starting on the 7th, so I missed 6 days, so 365 minus 6. Jeez, it's going to be a lot of videos. And the scariest part is I have no doubt whatsoever that I can easily fill 359 videos worth and many, many more talking about God and all sorts of things that flow from that. So, what was I going to say? If you're going to watch one more, let me know. Let me know. That would be encouraging. Over or under 5 people? That's my guess. Place your bets in the comments below. Do you think more or less than 5 people on average will watch one of these videos? And then, so you could let me know, and you could also let me know if there are some subtopics related to the Christian faith or my walk with God that you would be interested to hear about. You want me to confess my deepest, darkest secrets? Do you want me to teach lessons from the Bible or highlight ways that I've learned about God? Do you want me to talk about testimonies, good things that God's done in my life? Or do you want me to talk about kind of biblical counsel, I guess, like practical areas of life of how God has moved in my finances or in my family? Not necessarily a testimony, but like rules of thumb, principles that I see from him. Hopefully he gets a lot of glory and it becomes very clear that I'm not the hero and that he's the hero. I don't want to boast in what I have. I don't want to boast in what I've done, because everything I have he's given to me, and everything I've done he's done through me. And there's really no room for Jeremy heroism, but kind of a juxtaposition, because there is still jeremybr.com, and there's this whole personal brand in a sense that I'm trying to develop, but it's not for me, it's not about me. It's about me, but it's not like, yeah, I'm not doing it because I just think it's a good idea and I just want to do it. The reason I'm doing it is not for me. So maybe I should have just stopped there. That's all I got for today, guys. And now I'm going to leave you with the saying to close my video so that you know the video's done. Thanks for watching. Life is worship. God is love. Did you see that? Yeah, I've watched some YouTube videos. I can do that thing. Okay. All right. I'm sorry, guys.